Don't forget to pause the video to answer my questions, okay? All right, so my first question is would you like to be an exchange student? Why? Pause the video and answer the question. Answer? Well, I don't know. Of course, you have to imagine you are 16, 17 years old. Would I like to be an exchange? I don't think so. I personally wouldn't. The idea of being in another person's house, and being always in somebody else's house doesn't please me a lot, doesn't attract me, doesn't appeal to me so much. So probably not. No, I wouldn't like to be an exchange student. If I could go to a country, I'm imagining I'm a teenager, right? If I could go to a country, live in my house, and then study there, maybe, but I don't like the idea of living in a person's house. But maybe it's because I am Curitibano, and I don't like people in general. My next question is uh, what are you curious about? What are you curious about? Answer. Well, I'm usually curious about literature. I'm a lot curious about history, right? I'm curious about movies. I want to know, like, what movies have been released, right? But I'm not curious about, Hollywoodian movies because usually they are pretty bad. Next question. Um, what do you have in mind for tonight? Answer? Well, my answer is for tonight, I have what do I have in mind? Working, I know I have to work, and yes, working, and after that, spending some time with my family before I go to bed. Next question is interesting. Tell me about two goals you have in life. Answer. Uh, well, I want to improve my YouTube channel, the literature one. That's a very important goal for me to finish many books I have started reading there. Another goal I have in life, I want to work less. I want to work less and want to work better. This is a goal I have in life. Meaning what? I want to do more meaningful job for less period of time so I have more time to do more meaningful jobs. If you know what I mean. Next question. What's your goal for next year? Answer. Well, this is a difficult question to answer. My goal for next year. Let me change my question because it's too hard for me to think about a goal for next year. So the question now is, what's your goal for this year? Well, my goal for this year is to improve my financial condition by developing two companies I have started. One is in English school, and the other it's literature competition. So my goals for this year, besides a lot like taking care of my family and etc., but my goals are to improve those two companies so I can have more time, as I told you in the previous question. Next question. What do you think about soccer? Answer. Well, I don't think anything about soccer. I think soccer is boring, right? I don't like to watch soccer. I don't like to play soccer. I don't have a soccer team, so my opinion is none, right? I guess people who understand about soccer, they have a reason why they do so, but not in my case. No, I don't like it so much. Next question. Tell us something you are crazy about. Well, you already know that I'm crazy about cinema, I'm crazy about literature, so let's try another answer. But first, remember to pause the video and answer, right? So, answer. Well, I am crazy about Japanese food. I'm crazy about cooking. I like to cook a lot. Not Japanese food because I don't know how to cook Japanese food, but I'm crazy about cooking. Now, tell me two things you are crazy about and use as adjective as to tell me you like them both. Let me give you an example and then you pause the video. I am as crazy about food as I am crazy about it's hard. Let me be more specific. I am as crazy about Japanese food as I am crazy about barbecue. All right? Put it in another way. I am as crazy about Japanese food as barbecue. All right? Now pause and try yourself. Now try to use as again, but with an adjective for your example. Again, listen to mine as a model and then you pause, right? So, for example, in my case, in my opinion, barbecue is as delicious as Japanese food. All right, so pause the video and try something like that yourself. Still to practice as find two very interesting books and compare them, but imagine they have the same level. So in my case, I believe, I don't know, let me see a book you can see. Duna, is as interesting as O Livro das Mil e Uma Noites, Arabian Nights is the name in English. So Duna is as interesting as Mil e Uma Noites. Now using bad, yes, bad, compared to movies you don't like. Remember, same level, okay? Pause the video and try before I give you my example. Well, in my opinion, I don't know, Transformers, all Transformers movies are as bad as Fast and Furious. Both of them are horrible kinds of movies. Okay, now let's try not as, right? Let's go with the book. First listen to my example and then you pause. So even though I love Arabian Nights, I think it's an incredible book. I think, pay a lot of attention to the sentence. I think it is not as interesting, as A Montanha Mágica by Thomas Mann, The Magic Mountain. So, As Mil e Uma Noites is not as interesting as A Montanha Mágica. Remember, I'm saying the names of those books in Portuguese because I'm reading them in Portuguese, right? I advise you to do the same. You don't need to translate. For example, Memórias Póstumas de Brás Cubas, all right? Of course, there is the translation for that to English. By the way, it's epithet for a small winner, but you didn't read it in English, so you can use the term in Portuguese, right? Okay, now your turn. Pause the video. Next one, find two beautiful people and compare them using not as. So even though I think Juliana Paz is beautiful, I think she is not as beautiful as Julia Roberts. All right? So try something like that, okay? Pause the video and do it. All right? Very nice. Next question. Do you doubt when people offer you a fantastic opportunity on the internet? Answer. Of course you do, right? If you don't doubt, then then you really should, right? Like be rich, in a year. Get fluency in 3 months, You should always doubt those promises. Next question. Tell me about a person you think is very smart. Answer. Well, I believe smart. Smart is not necessarily wise, it's not necessarily experienced. I believe it is a student. I had a student, he is like 12 years old, and he was pretty smart, he got things very easily. He remembered, he read books, and then he would remember every detail of the book. That guy was very smart. Next question. Are you very focused when you are studying? Answer. Well, I try to be very focused, but I have to put my cell phone away, right? Very far from me. Otherwise, I'm not so focused. Let me see if I have another question. Yes, I do. Uh, Next question. How friendly are you? When I say how friendly, or for example, any adjective, how good, how interesting, I'm asking you to quantify, that adjective. So, how friendly are you? Answer. Well, in my case, I'm not so friendly. For example, I don't like to talk to Uber drivers. When they start talking, I try the most I can just to ignore them, right? If somebody starts talking to me on the bus, I try to, I don't know, just leave the bus if it's possible. So, no, I'm not so friendly. Next question. What is your friend like? Choose any friend. Um, you have. What is your friend like? Answer. Well, I hope you haven't answered something like coffee, because I didn't ask you what does your friend like. I asked you what is your friend like. So I'm asking you to describe your friend. Right? So what is your friend like? Answer. Well, my friend, physically, my friend is tall. He is kind of thin. All right. He's dark haired. Psychologically, he's smart. He's dedicated. He's very friendly. He's very helpful. All right. So that's my friend. Mhm. Let me see if I have any questions for you. No, I don't have any.